Right now, in this exact moment, a tiny molecule just fired inside your skull. It happened when you tapped on this video. It happened when you read the title. And here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. The engineers who built your phone knew that would happen. They counted on it. They designed it that way. And they learned how to do it by studying slot machines. Your brain is one of the most intricately designed systems in the known universe. The complexity of a single neuron, the precision of its chemical signaling, the sheer number of connections is so staggering that scientists are still mapping it. One of the key molecules doing that work is called dopamine. Dopamine was designed into you to help you survive, to seek, to pursue, to stay alive. It is a masterpiece of biological engineering. And for tens of thousands of years, it worked exactly as intended. Then Silicon Valley got hold of the blueprints. In this video, you're going to learn exactly how your dopamine system works, precisely how it's being exploited right now, and what the science says you can do to take it back. No wellness fluff, no motivation poster advice, peer-reviewed research, explained so you can actually use it. Let's start by destroying the thing you think you know. Dopamine is almost universally called the pleasure chemical. You've heard this. It's on TikTok. It's in wellness podcasts. It's wrong. In 1997, neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz at Cambridge published one of the most important papers in the history of brain science. He was studying primates and monitoring their dopamine neurons in real time. What he found turned the entire field upside down. Dopamine doesn't fire when the reward arrives. It fires when the reward is expected, anticipated, predicted. I will say that again. Dopamine is not about pleasure. It's about the chase. When a monkey in Schultz's lab heard a tone that predicted food was coming, dopamine fired at the tone, not the food. When the food arrived, barely a flicker. When the tone played and no food came, dopamine crashed, hard. This pattern is called prediction error signaling, and it won Schultz the Kavli Prize in neuroscience. The practical implication is enormous. Your dopamine system is fundamentally a hunting machine. It was designed to push you toward uncertain rewards, not to celebrate receiving them. This is why the moment you get what you wanted, the grade, the text back, the likes, it feels a little hollow. You were built for the pursuit. The brain regions responsible. The ventral tegmental area, or VTA, produces dopamine. The nucleus accumbens receives it. These structures sit deep in your brain, ancient, powerful, and almost completely immune to logical override. They don't care about your homework. They don't care about tomorrow. They are exquisitely tuned to right now. Here's where it gets interesting. Neuroscientist Nathaniel Dawes' 2006 research revealed that dopamine fires most intensely under conditions of variable, unpredictable reward, not guaranteed reward, unpredictable reward. His team modeled this and confirmed what behavioral psychologists had found in the 1950s. Variable ratio reinforcement is the single most powerful driver of compulsive behavior ever studied. It's the mechanism behind gambling addiction, behind slot machines, behind every behavior humans find hardest to stop. Now you know what dopamine is and why unpredictable rewards are neurologically irresistible. Hold that thought, because the people who built the apps on your phone didn't just stumble across this research. They funded it, they hired the scientists, and then they used it. In 2017, Sean Parker, the founding president of Facebook, sat down for a rare interview and said something extraordinary on camera. He admitted that when Facebook was being built, the central design question was, how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible? His answer, give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo. Variable reinforcement. The most addictive behavioral pattern ever discovered, deliberately engineered into a product used by billions of people, including you. Now here's what's specifically happening inside your brain when you use these platforms. There is a region called the prefrontal cortex. This is your rational brain, the part responsible for impulse control, long-term planning, weighing consequences. Critically, the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until around age 25. You, right now, are operating with an incomplete version of the brain's braking system. Meanwhile, your dopamine system, your reward and pursuit circuitry, is running at full power. Research from the University of Pittsburgh confirmed that adolescents release significantly more dopamine in response to social rewards than adults do. You are neurologically more susceptible to this mechanism than any 30-year-old in a boardroom. A landmark 2018 study published in Clinical Psychological Science tracked over 500,000 teenagers and found a clear correlation. Those spending more than 3 hours per day on social media reported significantly elevated rates of depression and anxiety. The mechanism isn't that social media causes sadness directly, and it's more specific. It's replacing sleep, real social contact, and the kind of unstructured downtime your brain requires to chemically reset. But here's the part they really don't want you to know. Your brain is not permanently altered. It is plastic. Multiple tools are suggested to combat dopamine overstimulation. Tool 1. Reduce exposure to cheap dopamine spikes. A 2018 randomized controlled trial, not a survey, an actual experiment from the University of Pennsylvania, took 143 undergraduates and randomly assigned half to limit social media to 30 minutes a day. After 3 weeks, that group showed significantly reduced depression and loneliness compared to the control group. The researchers called it striking. 30 minutes, 3 weeks, measurable in a controlled lab setting. Tool 2. Exercise. And this one is almost unfairly effective. Cardiovascular exercise. Running, cycling, fast walking, swimming does something that no app notification ever can. It increases the density of dopamine receptors in your brain, not just more dopamine, more receptors. You become better at processing the dopamine you already have. A 2008 study by Foley and Fleschner, published in Neuromolecular Medicine, confirmed this mechanism. 20 minutes is enough to initiate the response. You don't need a gym. Right. Tool 3. Cold water exposure. A 2000 study published in the European Journal of Applied Physiology measured neurochemical responses to cold water immersion and found sustained dopamine elevation of up to 250% above baseline. And crucially, this elevation is gradual, not a spike. It remains elevated for 1 to 3 hours afterward. Unlike the phone, which spikes and crashes, cold water produces a sustained, stable neurochemical response. Cold shower, free, legal. Takes 3 minutes. Tool 4 is the one that sounds most counterintuitive. Protect your boredom. In 2014, researchers at the University of Central Lancashire ran a controlled experiment. One group was made to do a boring task before a creative task. The other group went straight to the creative task. The bored group performed significantly better on creativity. Why? Because boredom activates your default mode network, the brain's background processing system responsible for creativity, problem solving, and insight. Every time you fill boredom with a scroll, you are killing your best thinking. The meta tool underlying all 4 is awareness. Here's what makes this genuinely strange. The dopamine system that's being exploited is also one of the most extraordinary things about being alive. It built civilizations. It drove humans to cross oceans they couldn't see the end of. It's behind every scientific discovery, every piece of art, every problem anyone ever refused to give up on. The system is not the enemy. The weaponization of it is. You are not addicted. You are not weak. You are a person with a precisely calibrated neurochemical system running in an environment specifically engineered to exploit it by some of the best-funded engineers in human history. Understanding that distinction changes how you see the phone in your hand. The science is clear: 30 minutes of social media per day, 20 minutes of movement, cold water if you're brave enough. And when boredom hits, stay in it. Let your brain do what it was actually designed to do. If this video left you feeling slightly unsettled about your screen habits, good. That means it worked. Subscribe if you want more videos that use actual peer-reviewed research to explain the world you're living in. Coming next, the ocean has a sound, and it's getting louder. I'll see you there.